So I find myself with a dilemma. I don't have enough smelting going on. And that's because I don't have enough smelting built. So I've got a document open to try and tell me how much of this stuff I need. And I've kind of used rate calculator up until now. But I need to kind of summarize it to make sure I get enough stuff going in here. So red science, by default, is going to need 200 furnaces. According to this. But if the furnaces I use have speed modules in them or prod mods in them, because this rate calculator isn't quite doing what I expected, so I need gears. No, I don't want it. So at the very tightest, it's 204. Now I've got too many iron gear manufacturers, so let's remove some of these. Get this down to its minimum. And then I can reduce this. I'm also wondering, I'm setting it up to manage 20 million science a minute. My goal is 10 million, or 20,000 science a minute. My goal is 10,000 science a minute. Maybe I need to claw that back for now. Because this is going to overwhelm me. I'm not going to be able to keep that pace. I'm not going to be able to satisfy those mines. So even though this is not going to provide a full belt, it's going to be in line with what I'm trying to do. That's a total of 192. That means 96. Now the question is, do I even keep 2 of these running? The answer is yes. And it's 384, 192. Off by 1. So, if I go with that, it decreases my requirements quite a bit. $10,752. I'm doing math in the background, so. So 80, 96, and 112. No, I forgot. Yeah, no, that's right. Alrighty. According to this, for red science, I will need 26 copper smelters. Well, we'll start with copper. And speed modules in the copper miners means that I would need 86 miners. For iron, I need 37. Plate. And 122 miners. And then green science, copper is 20. And 66. Iron is 111. And 372. And then neither one of them needs steel. Gray science. It's 64 and 214 for copper. For iron, it's 167, 168, and 562. But that 562 includes what's being consumed by steel. And gray science does need some steel. It needs 64 furnaces and we're counting those in with the iron in terms of how many miners it needs. Because the steel's miners come, yeah, steel is not considered a miner. You know what, I just realized is that I need to do brick as well. Because I need to actually calculate how many brick furnaces I need. One in 28 miners, or furnaces. 250 miners. And then for blue, oh wait. It went right to purple. I must have skipped blue. Need to arrange this information differently. But for now, let's keep going with what I was doing. All right, blue is 112. Why did I say 112? It's 192. Okay. Blue is going to need 178 iron with 594 for miners. 81 copper with 271 miners. It needs 91 steel. And for brick, it needs 0. And then for purple, purple does need 85 brick. Oh, wait. Purple is what needs 112. Factories. So purple at 112 assemblers needs 85 brick furnaces. 24 copper furnaces. Sorry, no. The hell was I looking at? 24 belts of copper furnaces. 212. $209 miners. I got the miners set up wrong. I gotta do the miners over. These are all invalid. I'm gonna put just speed modules in the miners. I'm not gonna 12 beacon the miners because I can't. Let's keep going with what we're doing. Purple. Copper. Brick is 85. Purple steel is 1062. And purple iron is 1047. That kind of hurts. Alright, well, let me go back and fix these miners. Copper miners for red is gonna be 86, and for iron miners for red, it's gonna be 122. For green, I should be doing this in a spreadsheet. It's what I should be doing. Mustache. Thank you. Mustache, that's on my list of things to do. Colonel Will, welcome. Hello. How is Factorio 2.0 treating you? It's a headache. I'm sorry. Uh, well, I have gotten to a point where I just realized that I don't have enough smelting, and I didn't anticipate that. So I'm in a really tough spot because well, so I've got this science going on here. I've got these little pods, if you will. So using the rate calculator, um, if I go through this per minute, all right, 10,000 science per minute, which that would be great. But that means I need a certain amount of gears. And if we ignore gears for a minute and just look at copper plate, so my copper plate smelting, Device, thank you. That's what my smelting looks like, copper. So if I add this to my rate calculator, and then I clean it up a little bit, so this is as close as it's going to get. It says that I need 26 furnaces to satisfy that. And these furnaces are beaconed, right? And that means that I need a certain amount of that to satisfy those. So that's iron, or red science. And then when I add iron in, okay, I've got to be able to do, that's too many gears. But now I've got to get 115 iron ore, or iron plate in there. And that comes down to about 36 of these. So I need to add 14 more. That's 14. Now one more. Okay, so great. I'm good with all of this as long as I can satisfy that. And I haven't set up my miners yet to have speed modules, but they will. So that's fine. 39 furnaces and 26 furnaces. That's for red science. Cool. And then I went and I took a look at green science. Because I got the blue science, or I got to purple science. I got to set it up purple science, and I realized that what I'm about to point out. So a new page, 96 science per minute. It's still 10,000 science a minute. 96 science assemblers that are all 12 beaconed. And I need assembler, or inserters. So that's too many. That's okay. I don't mind if that's too many. It's nice. All right, good. And then I need belts. And that's too many belts, so there we go. Now that's spot on for belts. But now I need gears and greens. Okay, gears. I need 12,000 gears. I need 2 more gears. Good. Now I need a lot more iron, and I need some green. So I got green circuits going on here. Same thing. They're beaconed. So I don't know that I need a lot of green circuits. Nope, 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 nope. Way too many. All right, it's only 7 green circuits. And what I'm looking for is the aggregate, right? I'm going to be putting these things on a train. I just need to make sure I have capacity. And this is where it starts to fall apart on me. So I've got copper cables, and yes, I'm putting copper cables on a train. Copper cables, there we go, 8 of them, perfect. Now I'm at the point where I need 7,000 copper plate per minute. So that's too many, but not by much. Take 2 away. Good. So I need 26 there. 38,000 iron per minute. So that's 64. And I need another 60 some odd. So iron plate, good. So I need 127 of these. Now when we go back to our previous one, I needed 39 and 26. And here I need 127 and 26. And it's going to get out of hand really quick for me. And I don't have enough furnaces set up in this area to handle this. So if we come up here to gray science, which I'm going to need because I'm doing all the sciences. All right, 80,000, 10K. For some reason, it decided not to, or 80 assemblers, it decided not to round these to the 10 point whatever. 10.7, so I must have something weird about this that it would round it. I don't know why it did that, but ignoring brick for a moment, looking at just iron. So I need some grenades, and I based these things off of how much I could fit on a belt, not how much I needed. And that was kind of a mistake. So I need 43 grenade assemblers, and this is 8 times 3, 24. So I need to build another one of these grenade assemblers. Fortunately, I have room as long as I'm willing to work around that copper. And I'm leaning towards putting ore on a train here, but I probably shouldn't do that. That's the exact number of red ammo. It's a little too much yellow. A lot too much yellow. Oops. Wrong button. There we go. But now we're into just how much copper and iron do I need smelted? So there's copper. Here's some more iron. So, and then I need steel. Too much steel by 12. Too much steel by 4. Now I need more iron. I misread that. So I need to build more, Goblin Muncha. Yes, and welcome. So now we're up to, in looking just at iron, that's 164, 127. So we're at calculator. We're at 330 furnaces. Yeah, thank you, Goblin. And that's only the first 3 sciences. And in total, I've got 64 there, and 64 there. And that's, now I've just recently added these. So 64 here, and 64 there. So 64 times 4 is 256. So with what I have right now, I don't have enough furnaces to satisfy just those 3 sciences. And I've already got blue on here. So I've got blue right here, and I went with 2 sets of blue because they're slow and I didn't think I could get what I wanted. So blue requires 192 of these. I could do 192 in one belt, I think. Yeah, I could do it as one stack, but I'd already committed to 20K, and now I'm backing that off. So we've got engines. I don't know how many engines it thinks I'm going to need. Yeah, that's too many engines. And that requires pipe. It's too much pipe. And it requires gears. Too many gears. And that requires sulfur. Nailed it. Not worried about the water or the petroleum for now. So there's the steel again. Four too many steel. Red circuits. And I could do all this through Kirk's website too, but doing it kind of live is kind of interesting as well. I'm just going to need a way to put all this into a spreadsheet so I can see it. Because I got to total up some numbers. Green circuits. That's a few too many green circuits. Plastic is over here. A little too much plastic. Then we're up to copper cable. Barely too much copper cable. And now we're down to just copper and iron. 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 Iron and less iron. Everything being rounded up. Why not? So now, when we go back and look at this, we're at 39 iron there, 127 there, 164 there, and 191 there. We're at 318. Yeah, total, but I mean, I'm looking at how many outposts do I need to build, Goblin. Because each outpost looks like, basically, each outpost looks like this. I mean, this was probably the opposite of what I need. What I need to do is set up a pair of furnaces, because this furnace size is designed to fill the output belt. And I was being like, oh, I can just double feed it because I can. Why not? Well, it turns out because I need to feed more furnaces because this doesn't load fast enough. Because I'm not making use of all of these resources. And I didn't put any speed modules in here. And I don't need to put production modules in there because, oh, I put these two together because they're small. Because these are healthy ore patches. Because I'm on a maximum resource. I might end up having to move this copper or remove this copper. Because I'm going to need that iron after all. So yeah, that's where this is, and it's an awkward spot for me, realizing that I haven't even gotten to purple. I've started laying out purple science, and it's like, yeah, I don't have nearly enough. Because if each one of these, if an ore patch can handle one of these, and this is 64 of them. And 64 is the most I can use to fill this. You know, I'm running out of iron going through the system. But that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm realizing that I am going to run out of iron going through the system. Because I don't have enough iron. I don't have enough copper. When you total it up, I've got... Assume I doubled this. But right now it's not. But this needs 191. So like we said, 318. So there's 64 and 64. So there's 128. And then these two is 256. And that's before I get to purple. So, and this is a case of where I took and I split it correctly. So I need to do the other ones in this fashion. And hope the belts can keep up. Because this is 266, and I don't know that I'm going to have enough belt speed to feed these at that pace. Because if I take a look at this, what matters here is belt capacity. So my output belts here is almost 1, or almost a full belt. And if I add in another row, I'm over, right? Which I'm seriously considering adding that extra row just so that I'm at max belt capacity all the time. Because I won't be filling up my input, just my output. Everything is blue belts, yeah. So what I should do is increase all of these, and it only needs 7 belts, so it's going to consume it well enough. So that'll help. Basically, an ore patch. Well, I need the speed module and ore patch so I can see, but right now, this is filling 8 belts. Barely 8 belts, and of course it'll wear down over time, and I'm working on productivity. And these ore patches are pretty consistent in size, not in quantity, but in size. I started in Madrid, so Saudi Arabia's distance is not the farthest, right? When you look way out here, I'm getting 2 gig and massive ore patches, but the sizes are consistent. So in terms of what I'm going to get, it's going to be about 8 belts. This is at its widest. This is 9 belts, right? So if you figure this is the average size, and it pretty much is, that's pretty much your go-to size on all of these things. I'm going to get 8 belts out of this. And based on that, if I'm getting 8 belts, and this tells me that that number of miners is going to produce 8 belts, and that 72 of these need 7 belts, then that tells me that each ore patch can actually only support 1 of these. But I'm going to put speed modules in all of these, which a speed module and a miner. Do I have any speed modules on me? Yes, I do. Do I have any miners? There's some miners. Well, I can just put a miner right here. That'll tell me what I want to know. A speed miner without a module can produce 0.031. With speed modules, it produces 7.8. Right? It's now 150%. It's not doubled. So if I were to take this, which is producing 8 belts, excuse me, and this thing needs 7 belts, so it's going to go from 8 belts to 12 belts. Well, I needed 14 belts in order to run all these things at full speed. And it's going to be 12 belts, which means that I can't use this design as effectively as I think I am. I have to do a split it in half and run the other half through here, which is fine. I can do that because I'll just take this half and run it this way, and then just I've got a model that says, I can do this with every other one, and then take all those and feed them in. I'd have to do some adjusting. So that would get me to 16 belts on this thing or so, and then they would merge into this. I think this is 16. Yeah. And that's going to have to be as good as it gets, right? That's just going to be what I'm going to have to do. That way, each ore patch can support. If I were to remove one, then it's only using 6 belts, and 6 and 6 is 12. Okay. Well, I'm going to still increase it and then deal with that. Essentially, these things are not going to run at full capacity because they're going to be slightly underfed. But as mining productivity goes up, maybe it'll go up to the point where it works.